What's going on, everybody? This is yours truly. I get fed up often when I talk to some of my friends, or some even strangers, that often tell me of the goals and the things they want to do, right? They have these visions, they have all these aspirations they want to achieve. But often enough, one thing that irritates me is the fact that they keep tolerating being mediocre. Let me tell you something. You are the product of the things you tolerate. If you tolerate being average, you will always remain average. If you tolerate that, it's okay that you don't respect your own word. What I mean by that is you say you want to do something, but in the end, when it's time to actually do it, you don't do it. That means you don't respect your own word. See, if you keep tolerating the fact that you say something and you won't do it, you will never do it. A lot of people are the product of the things they tolerate. You have mediocre jobs, or you might have an average job, but you feel to yourself that you're called to something greater. Or you might have something that you do and you feel like there's something more to your life. Whether it might be at your job, at your school, through your marriage, it might be some of the goals you have. You want to start a company, you want to do these things on the left, on the right. You have all these dreams to travel the world. You have all these dreams to write books. You have all these dreams to go and feed children around the world, to help the homeless, to change the current society as it is. You have all these dreams and you have these goals, but you keep tolerating the fact that you want to keep postponing these things. You will become what you tolerate. I want you to get to a point where you no longer tolerate being average. You no longer tolerate the fact that you don't respect your word. You no longer tolerate the fact that, it's not working anymore. You get to a point where you say enough is enough. I had enough. I had enough. Everybody that's had a breakthrough is someone who came and had a moment in time that said, you know what? I had enough. I've had enough. Somebody once told me that you will only change things you get mad about. What are some of the things you get mad about? I get a chance to work with some African entrepreneurs and some founders and business owners to some of the different things that I do. One of the things that I heard from somebody that I highly respect, she looked at me straight up and told me, you know what? You will never be able to change anything in Africa unless you get mad to the point where tolerating it for another day is not gonna be something that you're willing to do. Basically, you gotta get to a point where you said, I would never tolerate this for another day. Then you're ready for the breakthrough. You gotta decide that, you know what? Enough is enough. You are the product of the things you tolerate. So my thing for you is, you're called for something greater. Your family, your husband, your wife, your children are expecting you to do something great with your life. Your siblings, your community, your country, your city is waiting on you. Why? Why be average? This generation is waiting for the men and women who will be able to rise and say, you know what? I'm going to take responsibility for my future. I'm not going to let somebody else do it. I'm no longer going to tolerate being under the feeding hand of somebody else. I'm going to produce for myself. I'm going to change my life and those around me. I take responsibility for my future. Stop tolerating mediocrity. Stop tolerating being a failure. Stop tolerating being at the bottom. I will continue to say that until you will be able to change. But the problem is, I can't change you. You got to say enough is enough. I will no longer tolerate this. I will change. It's up to you. The ball's on your court. It's up to you. Remember, no matter what happens to you, you're God's very best. So live like it.